evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They run it with Carson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And this is incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. And they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
And defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. From the gun on third down. Banks nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
We're good. Express. Check right. Ready to run. Right 52. Hey, Alpha. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis.
Now, 180.
Check 55 tonight. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got
Fournette, a first down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Throwing now is Carr. He completes it to Westbrook. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Now Carr. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. The kick by Lambeau is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And the Steelers first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, Banks going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. A shotgun give to Fournette. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one that maybe your team will believe it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and 4. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Banks. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Carr. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Doug Marrone, with a play clock almost out, says let's take a timeout. He'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check 55 to Mike. I got you, son. I got you, son. Deuce. Later 8.
Here's Carr to throw. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 41 yards.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 23-yard line.
Down. 180. Check 55, Mike. They can't hang with us. 637. 55, Mike.
Now a play fake. Carr completes it to Davis. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's good for another Jacksonville 1st and goal.
Right now, 185 and 734. I'm coming.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Watch a slant.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead is now 10-7. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
7. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Hey, let's get it.
From the gun, Banks. Got an open man. It's Washington. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
50, plant. Watch the slant. Check 26. Fair. Let's go. Get set. Let's go.
On third down, it's Carson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Hey, Haywood.
On first and 10, Banks. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Down. 18 Gator. 15. Check my 15. You don't see me in your nightmare. Fine.
Throwing on first down. Banks complete to Washington. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. 2nd and 6. And that's incomplete. Jennings was the one he was looking for, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Banks. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And now the throw taken in by Chark and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's now 10 of 10 throwing the ball here to start the game. Here's Carr. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Carr now to throw. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
Looking to throw on second down. Banks nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Fournette. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Fournette. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun. Carr. The open man is Westbrook. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. On first down, Carr. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Switch up, switch up.
Hey, Delta.
From the gun, Banks. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked by Riley Harrison. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now as a quarterback, are you a little more... And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And fresh off the pick six. They've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? They run again with Carson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Let's get it.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go. He's checking.
Looking to throw. Banks. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. taken right at the 35. Touchdown, Jaguars! A punt return of 65 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 at the Steelers' 41-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. 2nd down, McKinnon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On the ready.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Ready.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Here we go.
And he gives this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Down. 15, Lonnie. 15, Lonnie.
I got you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Crunch time, defense.
Defense.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Watch tight end. 4 down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Banks. He's got his man here. It's Gary Jennings Jr. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
50's the mic. 50's the mic. You.
From the gun, Banks. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Banks. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Again, it's Johnson. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now it's Carson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. This is Carson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Rip left, rip left. Hey, watch edge, watch edge.
They go to Johnson again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. .46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They run for it with Carson. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Here we go, D.
And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Jaguars, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.